On today's video, I will explain how to build leg strength to run up hills during a Spartan race. I will share my tips and tricks and strategies on how I get stronger to run up high inclines. Spartan races are race number one pertaining to running. Being a little bit more proficient on obstacles brings some advantages, a couple of seconds, but really where you win a race is during your running. So to up your running game, work on your cardiovascular endurance and on your leg strength. Those are the two most important topics in this subject. The first thing you need to do is to have a lot of time on your feet. What that means is on a week-to-week basis, you want to run a lot of hours and you want to culminate your week with your weekly long run. Your long run should be progressively longer than any other run you've done during the week. For example, for me, currently long runs are about 26 kilometers on the weekend. Furthermore, you need to have hill-specific training. There's two types of hill-specific training you can do. There's hill sprints, and then there's long endurance hill repeats. The difference between the two: hill sprints, you will sprint for a very short amount of time. You'll see, if you take a look at my Strava, this week's training for me was 2 times 2 minutes hill sprints, and my recovery is while I'm running back down the hill to the start line, and then I start again and I do more hill sprints. So I do 2 times 2 minutes, recover coming down. As soon as I reach the bottom of the hill, I will do at that point 3 times 90 seconds of sprints. The interval's a little bit shorter, therefore I'm gonna put a little bit more effort and run that much extra harder up the hill. Come back down slowly, nice controlled pace. Then my next one will be 4 times 60 seconds, and then followed by 5 times 30 seconds. Those 30-second efforts, I am going all out, max effort, and once again, recovery's walking back down the hill. The second type of training you wanna do is long endurance runs. What that means is I would suggest between 10 to 30 kilometers depending on where your fitness is at, and you're just gonna go run constant hills. Either A, my favorite, once a week, I'm gonna hit my local ski hill and I'm gonna do hill repeats. I'm running completely to the top of the ski hill. I've designed myself a 3-kilometer loop and I come back down and I just do that 3K loop over and over again. And I'm aiming for approximately 1,000 meters of elevation gain to 1,300 meters of elevation gain. I've self-identified that my power hiking game is weak. That is where I struggle on races. Therefore, I just eliminated the whole shebang. I am now running up the hills 100% of the time, and I do not power hike. So these long endurance runs are helping me remove the whole power hiking game, and I'm just doing long hill intervals. That really increases the strength in your legs. For running purposes, I think between the hill sprints and then your long endurance hills, add to that 2 or 3 recovery runs, something easy pace, you'd probably judge a 6 or a 7 out of 10. And then I would suggest to just keep your VO2 max high up because hills typically bring it down. The reason being is your heart is beating so fast, but then, for example, your Garmin watch says that you're not going that fast, so it kind of skews the numbers for your VO2 max. So what I recommend, for me, it's either Tuesdays or Wednesdays, I'm gonna do a hard interval session where I'm going marathon pace, a little faster per interval for either a 10-minute time period, could be sometimes 5Ks, 10Ks. Just have something that really propulses your cardiovascular system into the threshold pace, which is zone 4 on your Garmin watch. And by combining all these types of different running, the overall weekly volume, so the distance you run, on top of the vertical gain that you'll get, is going to pay dividends for you, and your running game will ultimately just get faster and faster and better. Just the most important key, listen to your body. I can tell you pretty accurately if I run one more run or if I run a little too hard on one day, I can tell when I'm about to fall sick. And then I'm just gonna take a step back to make sure that I do not get sick, because then that'll just make my running consistency go down. Finally, pertaining to the running part, the most critical part is consistency. You cannot run a 100-kilometer week one week and then give it your all, and then for the 3 next weeks, you're either not running or running 5, 10, 20K. You need to have consistency. So whatever your base amount is, whether it be 20, 30, or 40K, increase it by 10% during the race season the whole time. And at that point, you're gonna create a massive cardiovascular base. Your legs are gonna become stronger and stronger, and you will be able to crush your next Spartan race. And maybe I'll see you on the podiums next time. Number 2 for having strong legs is you need to have strength training. Strength training is critical in your fitness journey for OCR racing. You need strong legs to be able to propulse you at the top of mountains. My favorite exercises to help with my strength, and I'm not limited to this, but my favorite ones is your typical squat. Either use a barbell, you can use dumbbells as well, just do squats. And how I vary my workouts is usually once a week, I'll take lighter weights and I'll do more repetitions. And then the second time in the week, I'm gonna take heavier weights and do less repetitions. And I like to add a third component for my legs in the week, and is at some point I like to add a component of spin bike, and that really activates your legs. And I count that as a leg workout more than a cardiovascular workout for myself. So those are critical to really get the quads, the glutes activated. The next favorite exercises for me is lunges. Lunges are really good for the glutes, the quads, the calves. I like to use a 60-pound sandbag that I filled up to do my my lunges. And I just do walking lunges. I typically do 20, 25, and that really helps me develop my legs, especially for the bucket carry and the sandbag carry as well. After that, step ups. Step ups are key. They are something that really mimic steep hill inclines. So let's say Mont Tremblant, extremely steep, and when you're going like 40, 45 degrees up, I find that the step ups really mimic the same type of activation in your legs. So it is key for development. Afterwards, deadlifts. The deadlifts, where it helps, it's really your abdominals and your lower back. So by doing deadlifts, I'm not doing it with extremely heavy weight because I'm not a power lifter. I just want to strengthen the muscles. I don't want to possibly injure myself. So even with 105 pounds, the bar and 245s on each side, or even 25s on each side, the purpose is to strengthen your lower back and to strengthen your abs. You're not looking to do anything else. Lower weights, once again, higher repetition, and that'll help you get stronger. The next exercise, which has 3 variations in the mix, is calf raises. Calf raises, obviously calves, as you're going up hills, oftentimes we're running on our little tippy toes. So make sure that you have very strong calves. Your calves are naturally getting stronger from running such volume, but then just add to the mix. You have standing calf raises, you have seated calf raises, and finally, if you have a hack squat machine, you can do a hack squat variation of calf presses, and you can load the machine up with lots of weight. I'm talking 500, 600, 700 pounds, and then pound out maybe 50 calf raises on that machine, and it's gonna make your calves. So to conclude, strength training is critical, especially on OCR races with a lot of verticals. So whether you're running Spartans or 5 Peaks or QMT in Quebec, anything that is trail that has a lot of elevation gain and an elevation decline, you need your strength work, and you'll notice a huge difference. It's going to push back the leg fatigue as you go. Finally, guys, the final component is cross training. I'm not saying to cross train on days that you're not running. You can cross train on rest days. I personally run 7 days a week, so I add this component over and above on my workout days. So for example, my favorite cross training is the spin bike. I find that if you put at max resistance for, let's say, 20 minutes, It really mimics the same burn in your legs as if you're going very, very steep mountains such as Mont Tremblant, or I'm confident as Kelowna or Blue Mountain here locally for me. Second cross training idea I have is the stair climber. Do a stair climber. I have the tread climber. It's an older version of the stair climber, but it works great. The speed obviously is way slower. The impact on your legs is lesser. However, I find it really activates your legs and your cardiovascular system while minimizing the impact on your body. Third recommendation is the treadmill. There's a lot of stuff you can do on the treadmill. Even just running on the treadmill, there's lesser impact than running on the asphalt outside. But what I like to do on the treadmill myself is to put some ankle weights on my ankles, put a weighted vest on me, and you can walk. Typically, I'll put my treadmill on a 15-degree incline, and then I'll just walk for 20 minutes with all the kit. I'll drop the weighted vest, walk another 20 minutes just with the ankle weights, and then I'll drop the ankle weights, and then I will run at a 15-degree incline on the treadmill with no added weight, and I find I really get on going. Other examples of cross training that you can add that are some of my favorites is swimming in a pool. I find after a long run, going in the pool, swimming a couple laps really unlocks your legs. Great for recovery as well after a race weekend. And finally, just walking. The best thing to do after huge amounts of effort, especially when you're talking about high incline and decline races, is go out there and walk. I know it hurts, but the next day you'll thank me for it because you will recover that much quicker and be able to run the following day. In conclusion, please listen to your body, but the more training you're gonna put in, and the top racers are putting in the work, the better results you're gonna get. And at the end of the day, we are all hurting as we are racing. It's all a matter of conditioning and most importantly, mindset. That is the difference between a podium and coming in 100th on a race. So I hope you enjoy these tips. Please like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube and just help this channel grow. And I'm gonna make more videos to help you out, and hopefully I'll see you on the race course. Stay safe.